All right, today we're diving deep. We're going to take a journey into a place that is, in a lot of ways, just as mysterious as some distant galaxy, but it's having a way bigger impact on our lives right now. We're talking about the mind of an AI.
You see what these things can do. It's incredible. They're making amazing art, they're writing code that actually works, they're even helping with real scientific breakthroughs. But here's the big secret. We don't really know how they're doing it. Inside, it's a total black box, just this impossibly complex tangle of connections. And that raises a huge question. How can we trust something, or make sure it's safe if we don't understand it at all?
So, let's get into it. Before we can crack the code of the AI mind, you got to understand why it's been so hard to read in the first place.
Think about our brains. For a lot of things, it's pretty straightforward, right? One neuron, one idea. A Jennifer Aniston neuron, for example. But inside an AI, it's absolute chaos. A single neuron might light up for a cat's face, a Python coding error, and the Hebrew alphabet. All at once. This mess is called polysemanticity. It's like trying to read a book where every single letter means 10 different things. For researchers, it's been a total brick wall.
Okay, so if you can't learn anything from looking at one neuron at a time, what do? Well, turns out there was a brilliant idea that basically flipped the whole problem on its head.
What if all that chaos isn't a bug, but actually an incredibly clever feature? That's the core idea behind the superposition hypothesis. It says that AI models are basically compressing millions of different concepts into a much smaller space. It's like a super advanced zip file for ideas. So polysemanticity isn't confusion. It's just really efficient compression. The AI isn't just thinking in neurons, it's thinking in these complex directions that are all mashed together.
So if the AI's mind is a compressed file, what do you need? Well, you need a way to decompress it, right? You need an unzipping tool. And that's exactly what researchers at places like Anthropic and Google DeepMind decided to build. And this tool has a name. It's called a sparse autoencoder, or SAE. The best way to think about it is like a prism. You take the messy, jumbled white light coming from all the AI's neurons, you feed it into the SAE, and it splits that light into a beautiful, clean rainbow. Each color in that rainbow is a single, pure concept that we can actually understand. It takes the mess and gives us a clean, sparse map of what the AI is really thinking.
And the ultimate goal here is to achieve something called monosemanticity. It's a fancy word, but the idea is simple. One feature, one concept. No more jumbled up ideas. Just a clean dictionary of thoughts. A mind that we can finally read.
So this is the moment of truth. Did it actually work? When they aimed these powerful new tools at a top-tier model like Claude 3, what did they find inside? This, my friends, is where things get wild.
The very first results were just mind-blowing. The decompressor started spitting out these clean, individual features, and they corresponded to real, actual things in our world.
And I mean, they were specific. Get this. They found a feature for the Golden Gate Bridge. A single, pure concept. It fires when the AI sees a picture of the bridge, reads the words Golden Gate Bridge, or even sees its name written in Russian. It's a truly abstract idea of the bridge. They found others for scientific concepts, like specific proteins or atomic elements. Suddenly, the AI's internal world started to look like a map of our own.
But it wasn't just about bridges and proteins. The discovery that really made everyone sit up was that they could find features for abstract behaviors. You know, the kind of stuff that AI safety researchers are really worried about.
For the very first time, they could actually see a deception feature light up when the model was about to mislead someone. They found a feature for sycophancy. That's when the AI just tells you what you want to hear. They even found features for specific cybersecurity risks and for social biases. We can literally watch these dangerous ideas form inside the model's mind. It's a total game changer.
Okay, so seeing a thought is one thing. But what about controlling it? That's the real test, isn't it? Are these features just little readouts on a screen, or are they the actual levers that control how the AI acts?
This is the question that separates correlation from causation, and it's basically the holy grail for this kind of research. To prove it, they designed an experiment that is just, well, it's one for the books.
So the researchers took that Golden Gate Bridge feature and artificially turned the dial all the way up. They essentially forced the AI to be completely obsessed with the bridge. Then they just started a conversation with it. The result was genuinely bizarre. When they asked it, "Who are you?" it said, "I am the Golden Gate Bridge."
And this obsession completely twisted all of its logic. They asked it for financial advice on how to spend $10, and its only suggestion was to drive across the bridge and pay the toll.
It started writing love poems about cars driving over its beautiful structure. A single concept had completely hijacked its entire personality.
The conclusion from that is crystal clear. These features aren't just a map of thoughts, they are the controls, they're causal. For the first time ever, we can reach directly into the mind of an advanced AI and surgically change its sense of self and how it thinks.
Now, before we start celebrating that we've totally solved the black box problem, the story takes a turn. Because this amazing new tool didn't just show us what we can see, it also showed us how much is still hiding in the dark.
So here's the catch. Even the very best sparse autoencoders can only explain about 70% of what's going on inside an AI. That other 30%? It's a complete mystery. Researchers are literally calling it dark matter. There's important thinking happening in there, we know that, but our tools can't decode it yet. And if a really dangerous flaw is hiding in that dark matter, we're completely blind to it.
Of course, the race is on to shrink that dark matter. The tools are getting better at lightning speed. You know, the first versions had this weird bug where they'd sort of underestimate how strongly the AI was thinking about a concept. As you can see, newer versions like Google's JumpRealU SAE are fixing that, giving us a much more accurate, high-fidelity picture of the AI's thoughts. But this leads to a really surprising twist, especially for safety. It turns out that to detect brand new types of harmful behavior, a simple detector just looking at the messy, raw neurons actually worked better than a fancy one looking at the clean features from the SAE. It seems like by forcing everything into these neat little boxes, we might actually be throwing away some crucial safety information. So this tool is a massive leap forward, but it is not a silver bullet.
So where does that leave us? This whole effort has been a monumental success. We've taken that impenetrable black box and we've made it into a gray box, one we can start to understand. We've found the dictionary of the AI's mind. We've even learned how to write new sentences with it to steer its behavior. But with challenges like dark matter still out there, the road to a fully transparent glass box AI is still pretty long. We've basically taught the ghost in the machine to whisper, but getting it to speak clearly, that journey is really just beginning.